Good evening, everyone. The time here in Australia is 8:40 in the evening, March 30. We are now almost end of May. So in 2 days' time would be June 1st. Now, may I greet everybody. Good morning to you guys. Good afternoon, whenever you are, and good evening from Brisbane. So today, my office is open. Ivan from Botswana, thank you for watching. Now, you wonder why Wilhelmina is on live on Facebook. Wilhelmina is here. This is my online virtual office because we are on coronavirus, right? So everybody's locked down. But here in Australia, our lockdown has been eased. We can go out now. We don't wear masks, but we're still very careful dealing with people. So we have still distancing. Now we are now on the global communication. Ivan, good afternoon to you. It's been a long time. Thank you for watching my live video. Now the time here, Ivan, is 8:41 in the evening, March 30. Ivan has been talking to me for I think 3 years now, and he's been reading and learning, and he's also this an agent. He bring buyers to us because his buyer has been frustrated. But gold is really a real business, gold and diamond. Now going back to this my online office, I just finished having a conference, video part one. And I was talking to Chris, and he was been following me, and he found me on YouTube, and I advised him. He's only 22 years old, and I told him that try to save money, don't deceive yourself, don't let anyone deceive you, and I don't want you to be trapped into disaster. So he found me on YouTube. Okay, so we are now on the global communication. I'm the only person who show my face. I'm the only person who put everything online. Okay, so now, Mr. Baya, welcome to my online virtual office. You're gonna say, oh, well, Amina, why are you always in the office? Yes, this is my virtual office. I handle sellers Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. Now, may I share with you what the buyer asking about bank instrument and LC. Now, this morning I have so many inquiries. Out of these 15 inquiries, I rejected them. Why? When they come to me, when you come to me, my question is, how did you find Wilhelmina? So on YouTube and Facebook. So did you read? Did you pay attention reading? Because every video for corporate offer, I always put it. I want you to take time because this is real business. This is not a joke business. Now, this bank instrument and LC and C.I.F, it's not workable for you guys. The reason why? Gold is money. You are buying money. This is cash. Right? One buyer from Russia, and he wanted us to bring gold in Russia. I said, no, we don't do that. We don't know you, and you don't know us. You never know you are a murderer. You never know you are going to deceive us. So therefore, you have to sign a contract. So therefore, you need to send a formal letter of intent to purchase. That is normal. Everybody has to introduce himself. You are the buyer watching me. You need to introduce yourself. Because believe me, you're gonna be rejected. So I rejected this Russian, and he said that he wouldn't trust African. And I told him, why you want to buy gold in Africa and then you don't trust African? That 98% of gold and diamond coming from Africa, 50% of rough diamond coming from Conakry, Sierra Leone, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and so forth. So why are you scared, and why you want to buy in Africa then? So that was my question. So if you don't trust African, don't buy. Simple as that. I am not African. I am Australian, but I was born in the Philippines. Why I love to handle, why I love to help you guys. I've been to Africa several times. Africa is rich on natural resources. There's so many scrupulous buyer as well. There's also a scrupulous seller. There are two kinds of people in this world, scrupulous and good, meaning to say good and bad. Well, Amina is always in the middle. I can be good, I can be bad. You got my logic here. So I am very brutal and very frank because I don't want you to be crooked because I was being screwed already by several buyers. So I wouldn't repeat it again. So the screwedness, that is my learning experience. So now, Mr. Buyer, I am not a broker because if I'm a broker, I'm going to run around and chasing you. I am here to tell the world that Africa is a huge continent. I am your business facilitator. At the same time, I'm the seller's mandate. The seller hired Wilhelmina to handle sales and marketing. I am online virtual call center for short. Now, Mr. Buyer, the price of gold today is 55,618.22 on the world market. So don't confuse, Mr. Buyer. Do not be confused. On my page, it's huge, and my page is really huge. So I have 15,000 hit, okay, and 5,000 viewers. So people come to my page looking and window shopping. That is fine because you're gonna feel comfortable and read the full corporate offer. Now, Mr. Buyer, the reason why I'm here, I am explaining to you about bank instrument, C.I.F and LC. Now, I will define you the word C.I.F, cost, insurance, and freight only. So therefore, you as the buyer, you don't have this, you want to buy gold, C.I.F. So therefore, you don't have enough cash because gold is cash versus paper money. I'm going to show you the money, the money of Sierra Leone and the money of Conakry, Guinea. Recently, I was in Africa before lockdown. This is the money. Now, if you don't have this, this is money from Conakry, Guinea. Okay, I'm gonna show you, huh? If you don't have this local money, I was in Conakry, Guinea before lockdown. If you don't have this, how are you able to go to the restaurant? And how are you able to eat if you don't have this? And if you don't have this is Sierra Leone money, huh? I'm just giving you an example. If you don't have this, how are you able to take a taxi? And how are you able to pay the hotel if you don't have this? Yeah? Okay? I am explaining to you. If you don't have this is a Sierra Leone money. I just been to Sierra Leone. So if you don't have this, how are you able to pay your food at the restaurant? And how are you able to pay your hotel bills if you don't have this? Now, buying gold, exactly the same. Huh? If you don't have the money, how are you able to get the gold and the diamond? So therefore, you need this money in order to buy the products. So you got my point now, Mr. Buyer. This is a very practical way, eh? Now, I'm gonna show you. I'm just very thorough, eh? Now, this is Australian dollar. Okay, this is Australian dollar, $10 and $5. versus this African money. Now, if I have, where's the money? It's fall off. If I don't have this, right? How I'm able to take a bus, or how I'm able to buy some coffee if I don't have this? Tell me. Now you are asking me, I am going to buy gold bank instrument. Now bank instrument, do you understand, Mr. Buyer, the meaning of bank instrument? Or do you understand the meaning of standard letter of credit? Meaning to say you have a short flow, short cash flow. You are going to use the contract to borrow money in the bank, to use the, the bank instrument against the gold. So I'm showing you this money. If you don't have this money, how are you able to get the item? Now, this is very clear, Mr. Buyer. This is money from Sierra Leone. If you don't have this, how are you able to take a taxi? And how are you able to pay your breakfast if you don't have this? Now, this is the money of Conakry. Okay. Here. If you don't have this, and then you go to the travel agent, you want to rebook your ticket to go back to your country, how are you able to pay the rebooking of the ticket? I'm just giving you a practical explanation. Now, buying gold is cash. So why on earth you're gonna use bank instrument? So therefore, you don't have a cash flow then. You are going to use the gold as your collateral. The bank will not release money unless the bank can see that you have a contract between the seller and you. So then the bank will scrutinize the seller, and the bank will scrutinize you. How are you support your application standard letter of credit? Now, very good question, isn't it? The seller will provide you a lot of information, mining license, export license, because your bank will ask where the gold coming from. So we have the gold. We will provide you mining license. We will provide you export license, but we don't entertain standard letter of credit. Do you understand the meaning, Mr. Buyer? What is the credit? Define me the word standard letter of credit. Meaning to say, you're going to borrow money in the bank. You're going to apply facilities on standard letter of credit. You have the facilities because you build your rapport to your bank, but the seller is not going to give his gold as a letter of credit. We don't know you, and you don't know us. So you, as the buyer, you need to build your trust. You need to build your credibility before we trust you. That is the reason why I'm online answering the question of this buyer. And the buyer said, oh, I am going to buy 20 kilos or 500 kilos, provided your seller will agree on standard of letter of credit, provided your buyer agree on LC. No, we don't. Why are we going to give you a letter of credit? Go discuss. You have to prepare that you have this money. Yeah, this money. See, can you see the money? If I don't have this money, right, I wouldn't be able to have a breakfast in the hotel. This is Sierra Leone money, right? This is a leftover. I'm just using you as an example so that you guys put that into your dickhead. Excuse my language. Now, this money is very, very important. So if you are asking for credit and you're asking for credentials of my seller, yes, we will give you the credentials of the seller. First of all, you need to send a formal letter of intent to purchase. You need to introduce yourself because we're going to find out who you are. Right. Then we will respond to you that we receive your letter of intent to purchase, and we will exchange information, vital information. In the beginning, you watch me, you're going to ask who we are. Of course, I'm going to ask you also who you are. So we're going to exchange credential privately, and Wilhelmina will validate you. Can you see this, the dollar? If I don't have $5 in my wallet, if I'll go out tomorrow is Sunday, how could I buy coffee? A cup of coffee is $5. Now, if I don't have $5, how could I buy cappuccino on the coffee club? Now, going back buying gold, if you don't have $55,000 in your bank account, how are you able to get the gold? Can you see the logic here? Now, is there any brokers explaining to you like this? None whatsoever. Now, this is sure Guinea money versus my $5. Right. So, if I don't have money, I wouldn't be able to function myself to buy cappuccino and a coffee club. So this piece of paper is also very important. And gold is very important. So you're going to exchange your paper money, your dollar, to the solid cash in order for you to make into different uses, because gold has many uses. So don't confuse yourself, Mr. Buyer. So, oh, Wilhelmina, I want to buy 24 carats. The refinery knows how to refine that into 24 carats. Even 94% gold can make into 24 carats. The refinery knows how to refine. Now, on my Facebook, you will see the video. Take time, Mr. Buyer. Take time. I am not here to force you, because I am not forcing you. You have to plan yourself properly. You have to send a formal letter. The full corporate offer is in here. Now, there was a question this morning. Said, Madam, I need your seller's mining license. Yeah, we'll give it to you. But who you are? We will not release the seller's mining license and export license until you, as the buyer, send a formal letter of intent attention to Wilhelmina, because Wilhelmina will scrutinize you. Wilhelmina will ask you business license. Wilhelmina will ask you importation license. Wilhelmina will ask your passport copy. Wilhelmina will ask you, how are you able to pay? So therefore, you have to show us the proof of fund, your bank statement, the value of your order. Now, I keep on repeating and repeating, but every buyer has to get the answer. I am now online. This is my online office. I am answering the buyer. That's this solid, okay. I am here live to answer the buyer on my private conversation. Few minutes ago, I was talking to Chris. Yeah, he was born in United Kingdom, but at the moment he is in Nigeria. I told him that you have still milk in your mouth. I want you to save money. He's 22 years old. And he learned from me. So I told him save money, because this business is very tricky. Now, there was a buyer that he failed in Africa. He said that he was being duped. I think it's your fault why you've been duped. In the beginning, you have been asking for cheap price. In the beginning, maybe you pay taxes. Okay, the taxes, the government would not give certificate of ownership to the seller and you until you show the payment, the full payment. You cannot take the gold out of the country without full payment. Most of you asking cheap price, and most of you asking LC. So you wanted to leverage it, called money laundering. So my seller cannot afford to do so. My seller have overhead. He run his business weekly. Here's the gold. Give me the cash. It's up to you to resell it to your own customer. Does that make sense now, Mr. Buyer? Okay. So I think I've given you the answer. So now, Mr. Buyer, you will see Wilhelmina every day. This is my online office. Okay, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna ask this buyer. Just a moment, Mr. Buyer. Okay. Okay, so I have a few buyers at the moment. Santos, you've been following Wilhelmina. I hope you learn a lot. And okay, what is this? Now, Mr. Buyer, the full corporate offer is really in front of you. And I want you to read. I want you to listen to this video. Okay, gold is taxable. There is tax on that. There is a value added tax. So you cannot evade. So, oh, I don't want to pay taxes. Of course, you have to pay the gold plus tax. Yeah, and you have to pay the asset cost of $100, and you have to pay the shipping cost and insurance. That is called shipping cost and insurance, called C.I.F, isn't it? So therefore, you have to pay the gold. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you're really a real businessman, it's really very simple if you have this. Look at today the price of gold, 1,729.92 per ounce. In dollar terms is 55,620. So, Mr. Buyer, how are you able to pay? If you're asking C.I.F, LC, standard or letter of credit, I doubt it's not applicable. That is the reason why you've been chasing and roaming around thinking somebody will offer you. Mr. Buyer, I'll walk into your shop. You are in Dubai right now. And you have a jewelry shop. And I'm going to ask you, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, I like your jewelry. It's really fascinating me. It fascinates me. And I love the design. You are the owner of the shop. And you don't know me, Mr. Buyer. I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Wilhelmina Ford, Mr. Buyer. And you? So they say, oh, I'm Muhammad. Okay. Muhammad, I like your jewelry. I would like to buy your jewelry. Letter of credit. Can you send it to Australia? Then the gold arrive as the time I will pay. You, Mr. Abraham or Muhammad, you're going to say, Wilhelmina, are you kidding? Yeah. Do you have a Visa card, Wilhelmina? Yeah, of course. I have a Visa card. But the Visa card has to have available fund as well. Because you, as the seller, as the owner of the shop, would not give your jewelry without any payment. Is that right? Exactly the same buying gold in Africa. You come to the office, inspect. What would be the next? Very simple, isn't it? So, Mr. Buyer, the price of gold today on 24 carats, 55,616. So don't confuse yourself, Mr. Buyer, because that is refined. So the refinery knows how to refine. You are a gold trader. You buy and sell. All right? So when you refine it, the refinery of your destination, he knows the price of gold of the day, spot price. We give you a discount in order for you to get the profit. Now, Mr. Buyer, the price of gold today, as I've said to you, 55,616 per kilo. We give you, okay, of $50,000, 500. $50,000. Figure out, Mr. Buyer, how many percent I'm giving you, right? So you're gonna scratch your head. Oh, well, Amina, too expensive. Of course, you're buying expensive item. So gold is not banana. Can you see a while ago that I showed you this money? This is Sierra Leone money, and this is Conakry money, right? Mhm. Now, this money is also very important compared to gold. Gold is more important than paper money. So without gold reserve in the central bank, this paper money has no value. Now, Mr. Buyer, get a lighter. Burn this money. 5 seconds. This money will turn into dust. This is paper. You get a lighter, burn the gold, and the gold will smelt still gold. So therefore, gold is precious. Does that make sense now, Mr. Buyer? I've given a very good example. This is Sierra Leone money, and this is Conakry money, and this is Australian dollar. So if you don't have this, how are you able to get the gold? So I hope, Mr. Buyer, you got my explanation. Now, now, Mr. Buyer, so tell me how long you've been searching for gold. Now, the price of gold today, Mr. Buyer, it fluctuates. Okay, so this morning the price was 55.16.18. Now I'm going back to the world market because it fluctuates. Just a moment. It's still the same, 55.16.118.22. It's still the same, but you must remember, Mr. Buyer, you're just lucky to have me. You're just lucky watching because I always update. This is my online office. My online office open from 7 o'clock to midnight because we have time difference. The time now is 9:06, which is Saturday. The reason why I stay longer because in your end, maybe you are early morning. In New York, in Chicago, it's early morning. People still asleep. In Dubai, it's already late afternoon. In Africa, it's already midday. Here in Australia, it's 9 o'clock in the evening. I have my coffee here. Okay, someone is leaving a message. Just a minute, Mr. Bayan. Because this is my online office. Okay. Okay, just a moment. There is a buyer asking, give me the credentials. Yeah. Okay. Can you give me, can you give me, we can give you our credential uh, to prove our genuine. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. And we will also give you the credential. This is the buyer, leave a message on WhatsApp. They can send their credential, that is fine. And we will accept and acknowledge your letter of intent to purchase. Yeah, Mr. Buyer, but I'm not going to mention the buyer's name. He is on my WhatsApp right now. So I turn it down. In the beginning, he said, we are ready to buy 200 in a month, provided it is on SBLC. No, we don't. I told him that you start to build your confidence with us. Okay? You as the buyer, you need to have a confidence on us, and we also have confidence on you. So what I'm going to advise, Mr. Buyer, start a trial. You start at 20 kilos or 50 kilos to start with. Then you increase that every week, 50, 100, 500, because you are dealing with the main producer. Okay? In Conakry, because this buyer sent me a message that he wanted to buy gold in Conakry. Yes, Conakry, plenty of gold. And I think, Mr. Buyer, I already, your buyer's agent, I sent him the video. So if you are watching me, you know whom I'm talking to. So There's no problem. We can do business. We can supply you for 12 months, whatever you order. We can supply. There is no problem at all, provided you show this, right? Yeah, show in your bank account that you have this. Then we will believe. On the first trial, Mr. Buyer, is really very crucial because we don't know you and you don't know us. So I understand your hesitation, and my seller also hesitant to trust you. So both buyers and sellers have a hesitation, and also Wilhelmina would not believe you unless you introduce yourself. It's really very simple. Yeah, it is. So, Mr. Buyer, when are you going to send a formal letter of intent to purchase? I have already 4 contracts waiting for the lockdown to ease, to open the border. In Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone, the international flight is closed at the moment, even in Australia. Okay, the international flight would be open, I think, by August. So I couldn't travel, okay? But if you want to travel in Dubai, because what's the international flight in Dubai? From Dubai to Conakry, it's only 7 hours drive. In Conakry, 3 times a week, Air Emirates is flying, I think, flying Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So you double check the schedule on your travel agent. Now, Mr. Buyer, you must remember, I sent you the video dated yesterday, May 29. Now today is May 30. So this is my online office. Every time I'm live, I put the date so that you will remember. So this office is very easy if you're watching. If you miss this video live, you keep on reviewing, listen, and the full corporate offer is here. Now, if it's a long-term contract, we might consider. Yeah, you must remember when I travel with you, Mr. Buyer, I do charge my extra service. You must remember. I already given you free. So where are you going to find a broker that show his or her face? Where are you going to find a broker that provide everything? So, Mr. Buyer, you're a winner. Yeah. If I'm not around, we sell you 5%. My seller will sell you 5%. And if I'm going to travel with you, okay, I do charge my extra service. You must remember, I am not giving for free. I already given you free. So I will throw back the 3% in total of 8%. So you're a winner. My extra service is peanut compared to $500,000 you're buying. Compared to 200 kilos you're buying, it's peanut. But in return, you will get gold running smoothly. There is no surprises. There is no hiccup because I would arrive the day before you arrive and I will welcome you and I will take you to the head office. You will sit down in the boardroom with the owner of the company called Mineral Consulting Group of Company. You already saw the video of Mineral Consulting Group of Company, so therefore you know who is the seller of mine. I am not a broker because if I am a broker, I'm not going to show my face. Okay? I am going to solicit you, but I'm not chasing you. You are the one who come to Wilhelmina because we are transparent. So, Mr. Buyer, I think I'm gonna read this WhatsApp. Just okay. All right. We are ready to buy 200 kilos in a month, provided it is SBLC. If so, we can discuss together. We assure the payment. Yes. We don't deal SBLC on the first trial. We don't. We have a bad experience already. Last year, we lost $450,000 kilos already, and we were being screwed by the buyer, so we don't repeat it again. My seller in Conakry lost 20 million plus, so we don't. If you are asking is BLC right under, I'm going to turn it down. But I would like to encourage you, start 20 kilos because you want to build your trust with us. We don't know you and you don't know us. So therefore, we need to build our business relationship. It's really very simple, Mr. Baya. If you know the key to success, you need to be transparent because my seller is transparent. They hired me, and you met Walamina live, so therefore we are here to do business in a proper way. We have gold and diamond, Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. So you ask me about Conakry, I will take you to Conakry. All right, so this one here. I come to know that you used to visit Dubai. Yes, I did. I was in Dubai before lockdown. And every time I fly to Africa, I always stop over in Dubai for 3 days, 4 days. Why? Because I want to meet the potential buyer. I have to interview. Yes, I've been to Dubai several times. And believe me, there's so many scrupulous, Mr. Buyer. So many. Asking SBLC, asking C.I.F. No, it wouldn't work. Go discuss. All right. Great challenge for us. This is what the buyer say. I came to know that you used to visit in Dubai. The situation now is not good to travel, so we have to manage without traveling. This is a great challenge for us. I will send you the LOI and we can have online meeting. That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, Mr. Buyer, I think Emirates would be open next month. Okay, Air France would be resume flying to Africa on June 17. I will send you the Air France, but it's better you use Emirates because 7 hours. But Air France from France to Conakry, from Mali to Ethiopia to Ghana, I think it takes I don't know, maybe 14 hours. Yeah, because I always stop over in Dubai because Australia and Dubai takes only 8 hours. Then I stop over for 3 days in Dubai. Then from Dubai to Sierra Leone, the Dubai to Conakry. You know, when I went to Sierra Leone, I have to arrive in Conakry, then change my ticket. I have to take a local airline, a small airline from Conakry to Sierra Leone. And only 45 minutes by plane. But by car, it takes 7 hours, but I don't because the road is very rough. I want to be safety with myself. The safeguard is most important. Okay, so I always take a plane, not a car. I was offered that they will pick me up. Said no, I prefer to take a plane. Now in Sierra Leone, Mr. Bayer, if you haven't been there, you arrive at Lungi International Flight. Then you take a bus, take a ferry. There is a cost to take a ferry of $40. Then you will be taken to Freetown by ferry 45 minutes. You have to pay $40. So you need to prepare that you have this one. So if you're asking C.I.F, you don't have this, it's not worth it for you to travel, I'm telling you. Without this is Australian $5. I think where's the $10 here? My $10 is fall off. Okay, this is $10. $10 and $15. I can have lunch out of $15. So if I don't have $15, how am I able to get my lunch on the coffee club? Buying gold exactly the same. If you don't have $1, how are you able to get the gold? This is paper money versus the solid money. So I'm giving you very, very explanatory. This is money. This is Sierra Leone money. Yeah. Can you see, Mr. Buyer? This is Australian $10. I am not African, you must remember. Can you see the Australian dollars? This is $5. Yeah? Okay. This is Australian $5. This is very, very important. Yeah? This is 1 cup of coffee. Without my $5, I wouldn't be able to get cappuccino. This $15, I could buy lunch, so my tummy would be full. Buying gold exactly the same. Now, Mr. Buyer, does anybody give you a lot of explanation? No. I am an office here. I am an online virtual office. So you're lucky, Mr. Buyer, you meet this lady. Don't believe me. Said, oh, well, I mean, as a scammer. I don't know how much I scammed them. May 13, Mr. Buyer, I was being attacked by online thug. And Nicholas and Wika Dreyer, she stole my picture. If you see the lady holding the gold with the yellow blouse, it was taken from my page. Yeah? And we put a lot of nasty messages. So this is the dirty works of this lady. And Nicholas and Derek Johnson. So every time they come to my page, I delete them and I put their messages and I copied it and save it on my Word document for my future reference. So, Mr. Thugs, if you are really criminal, you would not win because you are an online cyber criminal. Can you imagine this picture was being copied to my page? Yeah. And I knew who did it, this lady. Because this lady was saying to me, well, Amina, I will make you famous. Yes, now I will make her famous instead. So I'm just warning, this lady, you owe me apology for attacking Wilhelmina. And Nicholas ALB, you're still young man. You have milk into your mouth. So do not spoil my page because I'm telling you, you are thugs. If I am a scammer, do you think I'm going to show my face? This is the picture that has been stolen from my page. And lucky Shiba from India, he forwarded it me. I said, yes, I know who did it. So Mr. Baya, I think I already explained it to you. I have to leave you because I have few people on Skype and on WhatsApp. Okay? I only come on live on Facebook and on YouTube because I'm going to give the answer to the question. Just bear with me. Okay, Carlos. I will call Carlos in a minute. Just a minute. I'm going to call. Oh, hold on. Just a moment. Okay, someone. Okay. So my seller in Mali sent me a message. But anyway, I will call him because I'm too busy. All right. So now, Mr. Baya, I think you already read. So don't confuse yourself about the pricing. Now, I'm very, very considerate. You will get a very good deal provided you introduce yourself first and let's review it. Let's meet on the table in the office, on the boardroom. You will meet the owner and the staff and me. But because it's still a lockdown, you make a reservation so that I could make sure that we give you the fixed price, whether the price goes up and down. Now, Mr. Bayo, you would not be, don't be confused because even 92 or 94 can make into refine into gold bullion. The refinery knows because the refinery can put the chemical element in order the gold to be stronger. So I don't want to repeat it. There is a video on my page. Listen it properly. Then digest it. Then you come back when you're ready. Just bear with me. Before I'm going to exit because I have few inquiry on WhatsApp. Just bear with me. I'll make a call first, last. Mhm. And he called me, but I didn't respond to him. Mhm. I'm gonna call the other one. Okay, just bear with me. Yeah, good evening, Daniel. Yeah, I got your voice message this I think this afternoon. What time is it now in Ghana? Oh, the network. Your network.
Hello?
Yeah. What time is it now in your end?
Very bad.
Well, my time here in Australia. 11:26
Yes.
in the morning. Here, here in Australia is 9:20.
In the morning.
Yeah, here is in the evening at 9:26 in the evening, May 30.
Oh, okay.
So I hear your voice. That is good, and I'm live at the moment. What you have to do, you let your buyer call me before you're gonna travel to Conakry.
Okay. Okay.
So that he can ask question because he is going to authorize you to travel to Conakry. So the office is already aware that you're coming. So I need your authorization. The buyer is going to authorize you.
He's coming. He said he's going to do everything when he gets to Accra.
Oh, he's arriving in Accra. Where is he right now?
He's coming. He's coming. Yes.
Oh,
I don't know. You know, when he's there, his phone, because he's on the border, his phone does not work. And I don't know the number he's using there. So he said he'll be coming. When he gets to Accra, he's going to call me from home. So that I'll come home and then I'll help him do everything before he leaves. But he's supposed to leave tomorrow early in the morning.
Going where?
To the site.
Going where?
You have to return to where he's working, where he has got the contract, Burkina Faso.
All right. I think Burkina Faso and in Ghana is not too far, isn't it?
It's not far, but it is far from the capital.
Oh, so he's in the bush.
Exactly.
Oh, I
They
see.
have a contract. They are building, I think, solar panel for, I don't know, the government or somebody. I don't know.
Well, my seller can do business with your buyer to have a solar as well in Conakry.
Okay.
So can you give me the feedback about the international flight in Ghana?
We are waiting for our president to talk. He'll be talking tomorrow. Maybe he'll open the borders tomorrow.
Oh, that's very good. If the border, so you can from Ghana to Conakry, how many hours by drive? But by car?
No, Leonard said I won't go by car. I'll go by flight.
Okay. Did you explain that to Leonard that we are locked down at the moment? So you're lucky that I wouldn't be charged my extra service. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him, and then he said that so far as you said you are going to talk to the seller, we don't have a problem.
Yeah, I would look at the contract first because we send him the contract, and I will look at it. Then I will have a conference with my seller that we will give you as long as a long-term contract.
Okay.
Because we don't know him much, so the buyer has to build his credibility to us because we don't know him and he doesn't know us, so he has to build his trust with us because you know, fellow African doesn't trust each other. Your buyer is African and you're African.
Before he moved from Burkina, he called me and then he told me that he will be coming to Accra today, and then he will come and sign the document, and then he will give me authority letter, and then he will go to his bank and I'll sign documentation so that when they open the borders, they will transfer the money for 20 kilos, my air flight to Conakry, to Japan, and everything into my account so that I can show proof of fund for my account for you.
Okay.
Because he's very busy. When he's on the border, he cannot receive call, and they are behind time with the contract. So because of the coronavirus lockdown, they stop work for some time. So when he's busy and then we call and he's not at the hotel or something, he cannot answer any call. So you have to guide me so that I can do everything like I'm the buyer. If I have the correct documentation, I can go through everything and then I can deliver it for him. Because when we call him and then he does not answer, it means I'm going to be in trouble. So I should be there.
You will be.
Buyer. That is why he's saying when he comes, he's going to take my passport and my document and fill the contract for your destiny, and then he will show proof of fund for my account.
I think if you're gonna bring the gold to Japan, you really need me because I do speak Japanese, okay? And you have no idea about Japan. Japan is a nice country, but they speak Japanese. So if you don't speak Japanese, so it's very difficult for you. So what part of Japan is that? In Tokyo, Osaka, or Nagoya?
I think it's Tokyo. I think it's Tokyo because he told me that the buyer can speak English.
The buyer can speak English or what?
Yes, the buyer can speak English, and the buyer is going to meet me at the airport.
Okay, that's good. All right. So you're gonna meet the buyer in Tokyo. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is the beginning of our business relationship. This is the beginning. So I wonder why you cannot get the gold in Ghana, that you are from Ghana. I wonder why.
It's because, you know, the fraud, and the fraud is I'm scared. You know, Mr. Leonard trusts me a lot. So if they give me fake gold, he's not going to trust me again. So that is why I'm trusting you.
Well, yeah, you buy a gold. You buy gold tester. You can buy that in Accra Shopping Center. There's a gold tester there. When you come in the office,
How much?
I don't know, the gold tester, I think 5,000, 6,000. You can buy that. There is a gold tester when I was in Accra. You can go on the shop.
$5,000?
Yeah. Just like a gun. Just like a gun. You taste the gold. And then when you taste the gold, then the gold will be brought to the central bank. Okay? And are you going to hand carry, or are you going to ship it to Japan?
I'll go with it. I'll go with the gold.
Ooh.
In a plane. Is it allowed?
20 kilos. It's better by shipping. Yeah. Because this is your first time to travel. Yeah. I will talk to your buyer privately, and I will guide you because we are still locked down, and I will guide you properly so that you will not encounter disaster, right?
Okay.
I will talk to your buyer privately. So thank you very much for trusting. So I know Ghana has a lot of issue. That's why I don't want to touch Ghana. This morning I have buyer that wanting to travel to Ghana. I said no, I wouldn't able to help you. Nah. Because there's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of issue there. I wouldn't repeat what I have bad experience in Ghana. I wouldn't repeat it again.
Sure.
So anyway, so even though midnight, just call me because my phone is always open. You know, your call is very important. When someone call me, I can even stand up and respond to anybody's call. Thank you very much, and we catch up, and I wish you good luck and congratulations. Thank you, bye. Can you imagine this buyer? Yeah, he's from Ghana. He doesn't trust the seller in Ghana. Yeah, I was screwed. I was screwed. I was being cheated. I was being scammed, and then they black me as a scammer. I don't know how much I scammed them. I had no idea at all. That is the reason why I said no. Don't come to Ghana, because I have a bad experience in Ghana. So those criminal thug that put me on alert on scammer, you are one of the scammer, not me. I eat 3 times a day here in Australia. Australia is the best country. I am here to help both buyers and sellers. Yeah, I have still leftover money, Sierra Leone and Conakry. You know what? When I travel to Conakry, the driver and the chaperone loves me, so I always give them tip. That is how I. That is how I'm generous. But foreigner is not loving, tipping. Yeah, when I was in Conakry, we went to Avenue restaurant. I always give tip. That is why the lady and the waiter, they always welcome. Madame, bonjour, madame, bonjour. Say bonjour, me no fancy. Everybody's laughing at me. So I think I already explained to you, Mr. Baya. So I have to exit it. And if you have any question, just contact me on WhatsApp. I have here my WhatsApp and telephone number and email. You must remember, you are a winner. I put everything, I explain it, and do not let somebody deceive you. And you will remember this lady. This lady is very tough and very brutal. I done it purposely because I don't want you to repeat that you have a bad experience. Welcome to the club. So, Mr. Bayer, thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I have to exit you. Okay, my online office live. I have to exit because I have few inquiries on WhatsApp and Skype. Now I'm gonna give this buyer another chance before I'm going to close. Okay, just bear with me because he called me several times. Now I will give a courtesy to response. This is how professional way. When someone call and I'm busy, I always make sure that the buyer expect my call as well. So if he doesn't answer, then he can call me privately on WhatsApp. So I'm going to exit after this. No, he's not responding. I'll wait for 4 rings. No, he's not. So I have to exit so he can call me in private. All right, Mr. Bayo, thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. I shall see you on video part 3. Okay, this is my online office, and I'm going to exit you because I have a private conference on WhatsApp and on Skype. Okay, thank you very much.